It might not be long before Russia's top footballers will be playing in Saransk, but some of the country's best cyclists are already here.
Now, looking at this weather, you're probably thinking, not exactly the best conditions in the world to do some BMX biking. Well, the local government agreed with you, so they decided to do something rather radical about it. And it's a world first, the planet's only covered full-size BMX track.
The centre only opened in early 2010, but it's already home to Russia's finest riders.
We've made a good deal of progress both in Europe and Russia. A European champion is training here. A coach who had walked with an Olympic champion is here as well. He is preparing our sportsmen for the 2012 Games.
And the sport's also become incredibly popular with the local children. More than 250 young riders train here regularly, and the man in charge of them all is Coach Yuri. Although before they can become champions, they need to learn a few basic skills through bouncing. I had a go at BMXing as a kid, but that was now a very long time ago. They say you never forget riding a bike, but if I was going to take on this track, I had one or two technical issues to sort out.
Hold it tighter. Careful on the turn. Don't jump up too high.
There we go. Getting over the second hump at least. This bit looks a little bit more scary though. Well, dirty, sweaty, but amazingly unbloodied. Okay, I think I'm probably about 20 years past my prime there. That's still a hell of a lot of fun. Whew.
But if you're more of a culture buff than a fitness fanatic, there's still plenty to see in Mordovia. And I began my journey with a visit to one of its oldest and most important religious centres. This is the St. John the Evangelist Monastery, which houses churches dating back to the beginning of the 18th century, but it also doubles as a spiritual and physical rehabilitation centre. Brother Rufin is only in his mid-20s, but he's already lived here for several years. His day begins with early morning prayers, but his most important task is to supervise the lay brothers who come to live and work in the monastery.
You two gentlemen, go to the hotel's backyard. Your help is needed there. Grab the garbage, please. As for you, go and bring some water.
Many of the helpers here are planning to take monastic vows, but others, like Sergei, are looking for a different kind of redemption.
I joined this monastery because I was an alcoholic and a drug addict. Lay people get subsidies for medical assistance. People suffering from all kinds of addictions stay here for long periods of time. They come here just to live and work. In this holy place, they get treatment for free. The monastery's atmosphere and the way of life here help them recover.
But it's no easy ride. In return for their room and board, the helpers work 10-hour days, and in the winter weather, that means a lot of snow shoveling.
So this is what daily life is like for Sergei and the other helpers here. The faces tend to change on a fairly regular basis, but one thing stays the same. None of them are here for material gain. They're all hoping for a more spiritual reward and maybe to exercise a few personal demons as well.
Prayer plays a vital part. Everyone is expected to attend early morning and evening services, and mealtimes are each accompanied with Bible readings.
So the guys here may not be getting paid, but at least everyone gets to enjoy a hearty lunch. And considering we've got another 4 or 5 hours outside in that snow, it's very, very much needed. So I'm going to dig in here.
With my tasks finally complete, I headed back to Saransk for some more sightseeing, and to try and find the city's most visited gravesite.
Now this is the man I've come to see. One of Mordovia's favourite sons, and certainly its most famous artist. They call Stepan Ertzia the Russian Rodin, and his work is still on display in the local museum.
Ertzia was born and raised in Mordovia, before studying in Moscow and moving to Italy and France to refine his technique. In the 1920s, the Soviet government sent him abroad as an ambassador for Soviet art, and he spent almost 25 years living and working in Argentina. And it was here that he created his signature hard wood sculptures.
This 2-ton sculpture of Moses is one of Ertzia's most famous works. Some see it as a tribute to Michelangelo's sculpture of the horned Moses, where others think it takes its inspiration from the more pagan mythological tales, perhaps, of Ertzia's youth in Mordovia. They couldn't decide about it then, and they still talk about it now.
Ertzia returned to Russia in 1950 and continued to work up until his death. But there's still some debate over what actually killed him.
Now, I've heard of dying for your art before, but never actually dying by it. But the legend has it that in 1959, Ertzia tripped, fell, hit his head on Lenin's nose here, and breathed his last. The old Bolshevik claiming one last victim from beyond the grave.
And whether you believe it or not, it certainly hasn't hurt the artist's legacy. For more than 30 years, local children have learnt to make handicrafts here, carrying on a tradition that dates back centuries. Nowadays, there are around 25 children taking classes here, and horses are one of the most popular toys, and apparently one of the easiest to make.
This rather painstaking procedure is preparation for when we actually start the detailed carving, of course. Believe it or not, this is going to actually end up looking like a horse. Can you see that? If you look very abstractly at it.
Fortunately, Alexander is a patient teacher, and several of his students have gone on to become master craftsmen.
What children do here develops their taste for work because the toys reflect rural activities. Some of the school's graduates are well-known designers. As a matter of fact, this school serves as the basis of a development of a trade in objects of art. Many of our graduates pursue it as a main source of income.
My carving was never going to end up in the shops, but with a little tweaking from Alexander, I was pretty happy with my equine effort.
Yeah, not too bad for a super quick whittling session. Some very fast Mordovian horseplay.
It was starting to get late and we were still quite a long way from Saransk, but fortunately Alexander was able to point me in the direction of a rather special hotel.
So the Mordovians seem to be pretty amazing artists, but I've heard that they're famous for their hospitality as well. And there's supposed to be a place around here where I can get a taste of that, and hopefully a bed for the night too.
Although I wasn't expecting it to be quite so busy.
Ну что, дорогой гость,
Dear guest, I'm going to take you through a sacred Moldovan ritual. This ancient ritual will protect you from evil spirits, make you much healthier and happy. Okay, let's go. Are you ready?
I'm definitely ready. Should be fun.
And as you can see, it's definitely not your usual hotel welcome meeting.
What a pretty guest we have, a real Mordvin. May God grant you health.
And that is going above and beyond. I can definitely say that Mordovian B&Bs are pretty unique. Come for the night and get an honorary tribal membership. So on that note, good night. Or as they say in Mordvin, Tantista Udamsk.
I think I'd earned a good night's sleep. After skiing, shooting and shoveling my way around Mordovia, this is definitely a place to come if you've got energy to burn. But you'll also find a rich vein of local culture and a group of welcoming, inspiring people to help while away those winter blues.